our Excel Track 4 program. And today we're talking about Beyond Icon. So I'm sure you guys have kind of like caught on to the theme that EXP is building and branding around different ideas. Excel is one of those ideas where they're really going to concentrate on how do you take the great agent and make them even better. So what's the truth in the matter, guys, behind me is that there is no end line, right? There is no end goal. Every time you guys are such forward thinkers, and the reason why you're sitting on the stage is because you're continually breaking the glass ceiling in your careers. And so what I would like to do, rather than me sit up here and introduce you guys and give you my accolades, because I could go on for hours about every single one of you, and I'm blessed to know you personally and have you in my life. But I would like each of you to take a turn and just do, a 60-second introduction, your name, where you hail from, what your specialty is. Every single one of you are icon recipients, and let us know what brokerage you came from and why you made the move. If you can do that in 60 seconds.
I'll go first. This is Joe DeRaffaelli out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I am 26 years in real estate, and the kind of specialty I have is I'm definitely a seller's agent. I focus a lot of my time and attention on retaining listings, and I would say that where I was before, 2 brokerages ago, I was with Coldwell Banker for 18 years. Good owners, nothing wrong with them, but I felt like it was time for a change, so I opened my own brokerage, a boutique brokerage, which I had for 5 years before I had the blessing of rolling it under EXP and gaining my life back fully. So I'm truly blessed to be on the stage with this amazing crew.
Thanks, Joe. I'm sitting next to you, so I'll go next. I've been in Las Vegas for most of my life. I actually went to most of my schooling here. Went away, did an undergrad in economics, then I did a master's in business at University of Michigan and finished that in 2003, came back and have been in Vegas doing real estate since 2004. I was previously with Realty One, and as I've explained to people many times before, that's 100% office, but at the end of each year when I'd add up what I'd given them, it was definitely more than 0%. And things were really going well for me there, but I could see that the future of real estate was changing and it was making me concerned. And I was looking for something like the EXP platform to build my own business model on top of. So when I saw it, I knew that it was going to be a good fit for me, and have been able to share it with others. And it's been really fun to do that.
Well, hi, my name is Denise Klein. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I've been in the real estate industry, I tell people, for over 50 years. And if you could see my face, you would know that is entirely impossible. But the truth is my mom was in real estate. And so I am a descendant of a real estate agent, and I swore I was never going to get in real estate. So, of course, we know what happened. I got into real estate. In 1982, I started with the title and escrow industry and was there for 17 years. And then in 2000, got my real estate license and became a full-time practitioner in 2003. How blessed have I been to be in this industry and use it as a conduit to build a life worth living. And there has been the love-hate relationship throughout the period of time. But what I recognize, it's never real estate. It's always who I was becoming. And so I'm super excited that I've been able to have people that cared so much about me that they introduced me to EXP. And it was the 12th time. 11 times before people introduced me to EXP, I was like, never. I'm just celebrating my 1-year anniversary, and I look at the 3 lanes of compensation that we all get the chance to benefit from. And although I worked for over my career, 3 other companies, started with Realty Executives, went into Realty One, and then over to a Keller Williams, and each of them were a really important role. But I did for them out of care and for them as owners, what now EXP has rewarded me for doing the same thing, caring about people. I'm known for incubating real estate agents. So we work in an industry, 90% of the people won't make it. On our team in Synergy and EXP, 90% of agents will make it. And so super excited to be here with you this morning and talk about how do we not just make it thrive? How do we not break ceilings but build skyscrapers?
And hello, everybody. This is Brent. And let's see if I get it. I tried to turn on my camera. I'm not the most technically savvy guy, but it's a ton of echo, too. All right. You got to mute your mics if you didn't mute your mic. But Brent Go from Northern California. And I'm in my office. I am pro bricks and mortar, just not for EXP. It's a beautiful day here in Northern California. I've been in real estate 25 years. And basically, was 12 years at Remax, loved it. 8 years at Keller Williams, loved it. And then 4 years ago, I stumbled across EXP and just blew my mind. So couldn't be happier with the move. What attracted me was not the stock, not this world we're in right now. It was a turn off for me. I'm like, oh, that is weird. I'm not a gamer. I'm a cup of coffee and a notepad guy. I can take over the world with a notepad, to set my vision, my goals, all this stuff, and then a little cup of coffee here. And C student, dropped out of college, and today get to spend half a year in the Caribbean, half a year in Northern California. Been life changing. So I got an EXP for the revenue share. And the revenue share only. That was just never seen anything like it. It really appealed to me. And that's why I'm at EXP and I love it.
So Brent, with half your year in the Caribbean, how's your golf game now?
Me the whole time. I thought I'd get cute. I've never done what I'm doing right now. So this is hilarious. Is that what I had to do? Okay. So see, golf game is good. I shot at 83 in Arizona last week at the Sprint, 41 on the front, 42 on the back. I'm all excited. So did we lose Pamela? Is she, I don't see her anymore.
She's powering back up. She had a system crash. She'll be back.
Jody, was that you that asked me that question?
Of course it was, Brent.
Of course. So Jody took me to his private golf club and taught me what golf was all about. I learned that I'm really a terrible golfer, and Jody is a real man. He is a stud. Dude, I was so impressed with your golf game. I thought I was a decent golfer, and I realized I'm just riding a tricycle. You have a beautiful golf swing. I can't wait to play with you again. I've gotten better. I've changed my grips to the jumbo grips, and I love them. And I'm striking the ball much better. And I know everybody wants to know that in the audience about my golf game. I know that's why they all came, right, Jody?
Absolutely. Well,
let's
go ahead.
Go ahead. You go ahead.
No, as we get started, the conversation that we're talking about today is beyond icon. It obviously takes a level of professionalism to achieve that status, and obviously everybody here on stage has achieved the icon status. So the concept of beyond icon, and anybody can jump in at any time. Reaching icon, that's one responsibility merely for yourself. But it really goes to another level in terms of what it means to be an icon. So I'd like to just hear your thoughts on what does it mean to be beyond icon with as that responsibility comes to being a part of EXP.
I think for me, one of the things that I value about the status is the obligation, the moral obligation. It's not just a production. It's then an interview that comes in and says, and how can you serve? And how can you, I always think about delegate and duplicate. How do I duplicate my results through other people? And I valued that mindset issue when it came to understanding what icon meant. It was nothing to do with production, although that is one of the scales that we use, but it's everything to do with how do we duplicate ourselves through other people? How do we bring more people along with us so that we all share in this icon status?
One of the things that I really enjoy and I think about quite a bit is a concept that I heard from Tony Robbins once before, and that is that the effort it takes to go from a good effort to a great effort is quite monumental. To go from good to great is quite a bit of activity and commitment that it takes from you. To go to the next one up from great to outstanding is actually only maybe a small step further. So again, from good to great is a big step, from great to outstanding is a small step. But the rewards that come from good, great, or outstanding are exponentially higher. And so when you hit icon, I think that that's great. But how do you go to outstanding? And when you go to outstanding, the results that you get from outstanding are you not only have the financial rewards, but you also have the rewards of what it does for your lifestyle, the influence you get to have on other people, the people that you get to work with. I mean, one of the things that's amazing for me about being an EXP is that, and was one of the reasons I kind of decided to join, was because I went to some of the events and I realized that the smartest people, the highest producing people, the leaders in the industry were the ones who were joining the company. And I wanted to be around those kinds of winners, and being around them has changed the game for me. So that whole outstanding step, I think, takes you into that, you're walking in that circle.
I love it. Great point there. And of course, that's why you're up here, man. Corey is a great leader. Joe, Denise, these are awesome. So for those of you in the audience that maybe you want to become icon, I had a couple call me this year, and they had a goal to do, I believe it was 18 million in sales, and which is way over icon status. And by the way, everybody knows you cap and do 20 sales to get icon, 20 sales that you did by yourself, and then or you make over $500,000 in gross commission income. And so they said to me, and there's a point here, they're like, okay, we have 3 months left, but we got to do 5 million in 3 months. How do we do it? And so I was telling them, hey, go on Show Property every day for the next 3 months. You know, you'll start writing offers every week, and you'll have no problem getting that last 5 million in. Also, try to go on listing appointments every day. You can't hit a target you don't have, a goal you don't have. Set a goal to go on a listing appointment. I don't have anyone who wants to list. Well, the goal starts making you ask people, hey, do you know anyone who wants to list home? Do you know anyone who wants to list? Found a way for them to complete their goal of 18 million, which is awesome, right? But I asked them, I go, so let me ask you a question. Do you need the money? They go, no, we don't need 10 million a year, and we make great money, but this year we really wanted to go for it. And I said, but revenue share, I go, what? All due respect, I think you set the wrong goal. Instead of frantically showing property every day and being desperate to hit that goal, which I respect and I've worked that way my whole life, I go, why don't you just enroll 10 or 15 agents for the next 3 months? Because I can promise you, watch in the chat bar, everyone do this in the chat bar. Everyone write down are you guys losing my mic? Someone says my mic's cutting out. Is it, hopefully it's not cutting out anymore.
You're on.
Are we okay? All right, you got me. It's good. Okay, better now. Okay, good. So everyone in the chat bar, write down how many homes you sold 2 years ago. Right now, everybody, chat bar, go. I want to see how many homes you sold 2 years ago. 10, 40, 20, 30, 80, 93, 35, 41, 113. Allison, you beast. Brandon did 39. Keith did 51. Look at that. Look at you guys. Hey, Gladys, 3. Good for you. You're probably a newer agent. 113, Andrew. Wow, look at all that production. Okay, now everybody, real quick, stop typing in the chat bar. Write down what that earns you today, what ongoing income you get today from selling those 113, 41, 39, 50. Everyone write real quick, 0, 0, 0. Yep, let me see. That's what I thought. So, okay, everyone, you can stop talking. I made my point. The return on investment of your time, you know how hard you have to work to sell 39 or 51 or 113 homes in a year? You have to work really hard. So here's what you can do. The 40 people I listed 4 years ago, I've never done it since. There is a finish line. Has turned into thousands and thousands and thousands of agents. And so many of them make 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 a month, 80, 180, 250,000 a month, a poultry 130,000 a month. Those 40 that I listed changed people's families, their grandkids. So yes, get Icon, go for it, but think about the goal, man. So Icon's great. And I'll give it back to Pam, who just made it back. But my Icon award I got 4 years ago has appreciated to, I was told, something like $128,000 because I was 3-year vesting and I never sold it. So it's now worth that 16 grand is now worth like $128,000. Pretty cool, right? But that didn't change anybody's life but me, and I haven't sold it yet, so it really hasn't even changed my life. It's cool. It makes me feel good. So just food for thought. But yeah, go ahead, Pam. You're back. Welcome back.
Oh my gosh, I'm back, guys. I've literally been in technology hell, and I had to update the world and everything. Thanks for hanging in there and taking it over. And Brent, hello. I haven't even got to say hi to you yet. Thank you for joining.
Nice to say hi, but Joe D stepped up and got the meeting going. So I was just talking about golf, but Joe's a stud, and then Denise and Corey jumped in. So you really have them to thank for running the meeting. We got this, but we're glad you're back.
So you know what's the great thing? This is what I pride myself in. I pride myself with surrounding myself with incredible people that I can count on. So this is just one of those examples of why I have so many incredible people in my life, right? And then Brent, didn't you receive the EXPCon 2020 Entrepreneur Award?
I don't think it was called the Entrepreneur Award. I think it was the Founders Award, and it was for Vision. I got the Vision Award for the company because we're going to have 1 million agents worldwide, and we'll be the first company to ring that bell. And the company, the stock is going to look like they're giving away for free at $40-something a share. Don't go anywhere. Hang on. Tighten your seatbelts. We're in for the most wild ride of your life if you dare to believe. So pretty cool. But thank you. Yes, I got the Vision Award on
my. Congratulations. You've been a visionary for this company since you joined, and we really appreciate that. So just jumping in here and jumping into this topic of Excel and where you guys have taken it in your lives. I'm a little bit behind the curve here because I was here in the beginning and I got kicked out and came in a little late. Cody, have you had a chance to share your thought process, which is one that I love when you go on listing presentations, and how you have simply no barriers?
I have not yet shared that. So one of the things that's been interesting for me this year is that COVID has had an impact on me as far as the number of transactions that I've done, but it has not had an impact on my total income. And part of the reason for that is because recently, late 2019 and then starting into early 2020, are you guys hearing the same echo as I am? Are we good?
Yes, there's an echo. Everybody's got to mute your mic. So if you're not talking, mute your mic. It'll get rid of the echo. Somebody's mic is on lower left.
Okay. So one of the reasons that my income has been able to weather, fewer transactions is because in late 2019, I started in my listing presentations, instead of trying to lead the seller to a 6% commission, I decided to change the game and start leading the seller to a 7% commission for the listing. Now, what's interesting is that the reason that I decided to do that in the beginning was not to increase my income. It was actually because I was tired of sometimes getting chiseled from 6 to 5. And so I thought, well, if I start at 7, I'll let them chisel me to 6. Everybody will feel happy. They chiseled me, and I'm happy because I'm walking out with a 6%. Well, what surprised me was that 9 of my first 10 listing presentations using the new approach, they chose the 7% listing. And what it caused me to recognize is that if you add value to the client in the right way, they gravitate towards that because they want that extra value that you're bringing to them. And by doing that, it's helped me have an amazing year, even though the transaction count has been lower.
So let me get this right. You're saying that we went into this pandemic, so to speak, and business got shut down for the most part. Showings were different now. People were a little nervous, a little afraid. We had no idea what this actually meant to us. And you decided to increase your value proposition and charge people more money.
Yes, I did. It's interesting because one of the first few times that I ever did this, I had been asked by one of somebody in our group to go with them on a listing presentation, and so she brought me over there, and I had no idea what I was walking into. And when we sat down, the first thing, so it was a couple, and they told me that what I learned about them in kind of as I was getting to know them was that they are both litigators. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be trying to sell to people who argue for a living. And so, and then the first thing that the woman said to me when I sat down was, I will not sign anything tonight. And if I do, it will not be for a full 6%. So I went ahead and just did what I do. didn't really pay much attention to that. We went through the conversation. I showed them where we add value, and she was right on one of those points. It was not 6%. It was 7%, and she did sign that night. Within about 45 minutes, we were out of there, standing in the driveway, holding a listing agreement for 7%. And the team member jaw was just on the ground. She could not believe what she had just seen happen. And it's really not any type of great sales skill set. I don't really think I'm the greatest salesman ever, but what it was is I just showed that couple that we had what they wanted sitting right in front of them, and that we were going to help them accomplish what their motivations were for moving.
That's amazing. So rather than put on the gas, you chose to excel, prove your value, explain it, and you walked out of there with a 7% listing contract with 2 litigators signing it.
Yes.
Good for you. That's awesome. And so it's so easy to get caught up in things. So give us some advice. Like, how do you not get caught up in the chaos around you? How do you stay so focused? And please, this question is for anybody on the stage, because right now more than ever, we have a lot of chaos around us, right? So how do you continue acceleration through the chaos?
Pam, may I say just something on this one? So I don't want this to be any kind of a political statement here, but it's become very apparent to me that right now in the world, we are being fed the biggest lines of BS we have ever heard as a human race in so many different things. I'm not talking about just politics, in so many different things. And so I think it's really a life skill set that we all need to have, where you think for yourself based on what you are experiencing for yourself. So everyone told us that COVID meant that we were going to have to be shut down as realtors. Well, I can't wait to hear Joe D explain it, because I think he had probably one of his best years ever. And he certainly did not take that mindset. He did not at all let it stop him and just completely blasted through that. And it was because of what he told himself instead of listening to the rhetoric of the world.
No, I love that. So when you wake up every morning and you understand your purpose and your objective, and you're very clear on that, it's easier to make decisions and make moves based around that, correct?
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing, Cody? I love that. Does anyone, and Joe, Cody, I'm getting a lot of feedback. Can you guys hear me okay? Hopefully I'm not bouncing out again.
Good, Pam.
Okay, good. So Cody, you had mentioned that maybe Joe has something to say on this. Joe, what do you have for us along these lines?
So, I mean, obviously, much respect for Cody on every level possible as a human being, beyond everything else. I think one of the things that I appreciate the most about having moved over to EXP is I get to collaborate on a level that has never, ever been possible before with other amazing agents, including everybody here on stage. There's not another way in time and space that Brent Gove and I would have wound up golfing together without, the connections through EXP, and that echoes through. So as we were going into the shutdown, I'm very clear, and I'd have everybody here, if they want to take on a little exercise, I'd have them write down this. What's your identity? What's your identity? Because what I noticed, and Cody, you hit it right on the head when we talked about the amount of propagandas being thrown at us. Fear is being leveraged at a level that hasn't been leveraged, and it's always been a tool. But it's how you get the masses to conform, is you use fear. And so what I'm real clear as far as my identity is, in the past, my identity was about being in struggle. There was some kind of gallant experience that I would have, is being in a battle and waging a war, if you would, in terms of being able to bring in business. And what I got real clear on as I moved into EXP is I was done with the battle. I was done with the grind. Do I still work? Absolutely. I work hard every day. But my identity is shift to who I can be and how I can make a bigger difference in the world. And when the shutdown was first happening, I was very clear. My identity was to lead others through the storm and to be a bright light of possibility, not only for my clients, but also for all the amazing agents that we have in our EXP organization, as well as our EXP members around the country. I'm a big believer, if one person can do it, anybody can do it. And I figured I'm going to go ahead and go out ahead and let everybody know it's safe to make a difference in the world. And that's kind of how we show up all the time. Everything from the charities we contribute to, where we spend our time. In fact, I just got approval for state funding on an affordable housing development. We're going to build 156 affordable housing units here in Clark County. And it's all through a vision of identity, is making a difference.
Joe, I love that so much about you. You are one man that I know that has absolutely 100% been able to bring together and marry your business and your personal life. It's like through the cultural shifts of COVID and everything that we're going on, you see that those lines are graying for a lot of people, but you're somebody who actually mastered that a long time ago. And you live, eat, and breathe exactly who you are. One of the things I admire so much about you, which I believe is one of the characteristics that we do need to accept, that we need to be able to embrace to excel in life, right? And
as you mentioned, I don't separate my identity. It's who I am at home. It's who I am with friends. It's who I am out in the community, and it's who I am in business. But not everybody wants to take a good look at that, because you might see some things in there that you're not as excited about, but that's the opportunity for shift.
Exactly. So get a little uncomfortable, and there could be some growth. We wrote that in the chat bar there. If you took, you're going to take Joe's advice, you're going to write that down. Exactly. What is your identity? And don't just write it down. Think about it. And you hit on something else that I want to bring attention to the stage. So I've been in the business for many, many years, 34 years. I've been around the real estate industry in Las Vegas. And one thing is that I have always felt that despite how much I want to collaborate with other agencies, it's been a very cutthroat industry. Until I made the leap to EXP, I have never experienced such collaboration. Now, together, I feel when we collaborate in this world and in this company, it just makes every single one of us better. I get to cheer you guys on, because when you're better, I'm better, and vice versa. For instance, I was lucky enough to have Cody in one of my team meetings yesterday. Now, why did Cody, a competitor in my town, come into my team meeting to accelerate my team to a better level? Because that's the true spirit of this company. We really embrace something new and different in the industry, and I feel like we're taking them over. I agree with you 100%, Brent. We are on a tidal wave. You better get on your surfboard and hang on, because it is coming, right? How many agents do we have right now? How many countries are we open in? Anyone on the stage know this? Well, I'll answer. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Pam, we got you.
Good. I think we're at like 36,000 agents in 5 countries now, right?
38,000 agents, it was announced. And India actually is going to open last week. I thought it opened 2 days ago, but it's going to open next week, India. So you got the UK, Australia, Canada, the US, 4, South Africa 5, India will be 6, Mexico opens in 2 weeks, 7, and then Portugal, France, and I think we called Mexico. So we're right there, at least 6 with 38,000.
So we're at the tipping point, right? Where EXP is the Netflix to Blockbuster. It's the Amazon effect. You want to talk about a company that's accelerating and gives their agents the opportunity to accelerate. There really is no box in this company. We have so many opportunities to us. I've been with the company for over a year. I'm still learning things. I'm still learning tools that are at my fingertips that I maybe haven't taken advantage of yet. So there's so many places for us to grow and for us to collaborate with one another. It's truly, in my opinion, the only real estate company that actually encourages us rooting one another on. And I'm so happy to be here. With that, let's get back to the topic of accelerate and how you guys as individuals, because that's the reason why you're sitting on the stage, to reach a goal post and then you continue past it. Denise, literally one of the best that I know. You have probably trained more agents than anybody in Las Vegas. You train successful agents. You pour your heart and soul into them. And in the same time, you're creating a amount of growth for yourself daily. I constantly see you push yourself. I feel like you're constantly growing and uncomfortable. So why? Why do you put yourself in that position every day?
You know, it's so, how blessed am I to sit here on a stage with 4 individuals that every day I get to hang out with. And I think that there's 3 things that I notice in all of them, and one of them that they've been talking about on the stage. Icon status and above is all about mindset, systems, and accountability. And we, you know, whether we're talking Cody, a 7% listing, what you heard him say is his belief came first. His vision came first. His why is very clear, his why now. You know, when you move over to Joe, won't brag on himself, but he is recognized internationally with Coldwell Banker as a top agent. He's shared the stage with Mike Ferry. And when he gets his mind onto something, there is nothing that stops him. And I'm in awe of Brent as I listen to him talk with such eloquence and such passion about the opportunity, get on a tidal wave. There's absolutely no question about the certainty in his mind. So what I would say to you is it's my certainty that I'm here to become the woman that my family can be proud of. The woman that when you have success and you die, you take it with you. But when you live a life of significance, you leave that behind. And I have a passion to live a significant life. And we work in an industry that is proud and content to say we lose 90% of them. And that's just not okay. So my mindset every morning, I get out of bed and say, if I don't pull it together today, if I don't do what I need to do, I put people at risk. And that is not why I'm here. And so mindset. And I think, you know, in our world, we talk a lot about it, Pam, right? We talk about mindset and it's almost lost a little bit of its impact. I hope to bring that impact back. Why? But why now? Why don't we wait? Look, in 2000 and independent agent to 9. Yet when we hit COVID, my numbers thrive. And it is because I'm in the EXP model, I have this incredible downline and upline of people that are locking arms and that are saying we're going to do this better. But I'm very clear about my purpose. I'm very clear about my vision. And my hope is to support other people in being that clear, having that target that Cody was talking about. So it's, for me, unapologetically knowing that I deserve success. Like Joe, I had a program or a belief that said money's hard to grow, right? I make lots of it, not very good at growing it. This last year, I have grown more revenue outside of transactions than I ever have in my entire life because of this vehicle. And so I'm passionate about bringing people along and unapologetically standing in their dreams, standing up for what they want, and encouraging them to think big, dream big, know it's possible, take action, and hold yourself accountable and other people.
I totally. And the truth of the matter is that even though there's 4 different people sitting on the stage with 4 different businesses, 4 different business plans, 4 different sets of parents and circumstances and how you were raised and where you came from, what you all have in common, what I'm hearing over and over and over again, is mindset, right? So Denise, yeah, we do. We talk about this a lot. Thoughts are things. And if you think about that short sentence, thoughts are things. So be very, very careful the pictures that you create in your mind, because your mind is nothing but a genie. It's going to say, okay, if you tell yourself you're fat, okay, you'll be fat. Okay, if you can't get that 7% listing, guess what? You're not going to get that 7% listing. Okay, you're an icon. You're not an icon, right? So one of
the things I throw in there real quick is at the end of my hall, all over my house are words. And at the end of the hall, I have, as I'm going left to my bedroom and left to my garage, it is 4 feet wide, 9 feet high, and it says this: the words I speak for the house I live in. And I put these words around me because unmonitored, my mind is going to go to crazy places. And so monitoring your mind, monitoring those words couldn't be more critical. And I echo what you say.
I love that. We should all have those little triggers. I have them around my office. I have them around my house. So, the bottom line is be careful what you tell yourself, because that's exactly what you'll get. Change your mindset, change your outcome. Believe it can be, and it will be so. Stop putting barriers on yourself, right? There's nobody in this company putting barriers on anybody. So you're definitely not bound by what you can achieve in this company. And there's nobody sitting on the stage better to prove that than Mr. Brent Gove. Just exponential success beyond anything I've ever seen. And what a great example of what's possible. And I would say that if you're sitting in the audience listening to us right now, Brent would be the first one to tell you that he believes in every one of you.
I sure do. Is that my cue to jump in?
Well, yes, Brent. We need to hear more, Brent.
All right. Awesome. Hey, everybody. And by the way, Rachel sent me a private message. I tried to respond to you in the chat, Rachel. It's not letting me. I don't know what's going on. So I'm not ignoring you. Thank you for what you said. Very nice. Hey, everybody. Great to be here. And, excelling and being great at what you do. So I'm going to tell you a story. I was invited to a mortgage luncheon, bunch of mortgage officers. There were like 30 of them at a nice steakhouse here in Sacramento, real steak lunches and wine, and it was good. I was with all these mortgage brokers, and they brought in a guy named Todd Duncan. Well, Todd Duncan is the Mike Ferry, the Brian Buffini, the Joe Stump of mortgage. He's one of the top mortgage trainers in the nation. And I don't remember anything he said that day, except for the fact that everybody got a book, and I got his book. But the one thing I remember that stuck with me for over a decade now, I thought it was so true. He says, when you really get it in mortgage or in real estate, he was talking about mortgage, but it applies. And the business goes from your head to your heart. When you start talking to people from your heart, instead of like another loan app, another loan app, another loan app, another interest rate is 2.5%, closing costs are 7, blah, 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 blah. What do you make? Are you married? Do you have any dependents? Blah, 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 blah. What's your debt? What's your, just taking loan apps and doing loans. But he says, if you just slow down, I'm not talking about 5 hours. I'm talking 5 minutes. Take 5 minutes. Maybe they're passionate about fly fishing. I don't know. But you just really take the time to get to know your clients and come from the heart. Losing clients. Some of you out there in the audience, you actually lose buyers, you lose listings because you're just coming from your brain. You're coming from your cerebral cortex. You got to take that 12-inch journey from your head to your heart and start coming from love, and that you really, really care about them. So the question I have for you today, Tony Robbins taught me this summer. I attended a 4-day Zoom, 14 hours a day Zoom with Tony Robbins for 4 days, 14 hours a day for 4 days, never left my computer. Literally, it was so good. We ran to the bathroom, did what you had to do, ran back as fast as you could because you didn't want to miss 1 second of it. It was phenomenal. But at one point he looked at us and he said this, he goes, do your clients, do your staff and your employees, do your clients, do they really know that you love them? That you genuinely care about them? And when you can get to that point, oh baby, it's all over. Then add massive, massive value. What are all the other agents and brokers in Las Vegas? And then do 10 times more than that. Okay, they're doing this. What could I do that? Because I'm not going to get chiseled down from 6. I'm going to go to 7. But if I'm doing 7, I got to add more value. So we added more value, and they just paid him 7. So what could you do? Sit down. I don't know. Sit down for 4 hours with a blank yellow notepad and a cup of coffee and do it. And then create things to love your group. I'm going to do this. I've never done this before. Forgive me, but we're going to do this. It's going to be fast. See if I can do this. I think. Can you guys see me? I'm up on the screen. Can you guys see me? I just took over the screen. Did I do it? Thumbs up in the chat bar. Yes,
you did it.
I did it. I've never done this. I clicked on a little button, and so here I am live at EXPCon. I just clicked on some movie camera button. Look at me, I'm a movie star. So, anyways, but do things for your clients. Do things for your team. I created this on an airplane about 2 months ago. It's called the Lake Tahoe Mastermind. We got a pretty picture. It's got the dates, the times. It's this Saturday. And I'm bringing 30 of my agents in locally. There's like 700, but I've invited 30. I rented a multi-million-dollar cabin, Airbnb. It's like $1,200, and then had to go 2 nights, so it's $2,400. Then we're having a catered lunch and dinner. It's 10 to 5, and I'm doing this. We're doing a business planning clinic for 2021, 22, 23. And I literally wrote this out on an airplane all the way to 25, 5 years. You can't get a goal you don't have. And then we're mapping out a freedom date where you don't have to sell real estate. I stopped selling real estate 2 years and 7 months ago. You know why? Because I sold less on purpose. I'm the only person on the stage that thinks you should sell less real estate. Now, if you're not paying your bills and you're not feeding your children and putting gas in your car, you need to sell more real estate. And you need to not turn the TV on. You need to work 18 hours a day and be a man, be a woman. You need to put on your big boy britches and go slay it for the family. But for the rest of you that are doing 50 deals and you're trying to go to 100, I don't think you should do that. I enlisted 40 agents 4 years ago, did it one time. And if I don't get out of bed this year, I'll earn $10 million. Well, that's just, you see, the problem is you're telling yourself it can't happen for me. And as long as you keep saying that to yourself, guess what? It's not going to happen for you. If you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you're probably right. And if you think you can, maybe you're wrong too. But be willing to do something. See, you're going, well, I can't do this. This $5,000 event, I can't do this. Your mortgage broker will kick in $2,500 probably. If it wants to work with you, say, come up, I'll promote you. And then they may rent the whole thing for you. Then you call your photographer and your stager. Maybe they each kick in $400 or $500 and they come up and you have 3 or 4 people there and you promote them and you have 30. You could just, now I'm paying the whole thing, but you're like, well, I can't afford that. You got people that it could be free, but you're already saying, I can't. Stop telling yourself why you can't be an icon agent, why you can't get 7%, why you have nothing more to add of value, why you're not Pam, you're not Denise, you're not Joe, you're not Brent Gove, you're not Corey. Look at Corey, he has a business degree, a master's degree. I'm a C student that dropped out of college. Here's what you are. Be authentic and you will kill it. People respond to authenticity. So, man, I say things wrong. I mess it up. You know, I whatever. Who cares? I go on listing appointments in shorts. You know, woo! Look at those legs. I'm horrible. I don't dress the way I should dress, but I kill it. Someone turned your mic on. You got to turn your mic off. Anyways, sorry, Pam. I just kind of launched. I'll get back off your screen. I'm gonna go play now.
Love it. You are absolutely the best. And that was incredible parting words from you. And you know what, Brent? I am so in alignment with you. Let me get turned around so I can actually see our people again. I'm so in alignment with you that we just held our business planning strategy session for my team a little early this year because I'm like, you know what? All the business plans for 2020 kind of went out the window. We had to pivot. We had to change a little bit. We know what's going on now, so let's go do it. Let's go do our business plans. And Brent, I'm so in alignment with you. Our new theme for 2021 is high-tech, human-driven. Like, stop letting technology talk to your clients. Go get in relationship. It takes 30 seconds. It takes 5 minutes. I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, how do we have these incredible pieces of technology at our disposal, and they're wonderful. It's mind-blowing what we can do with the technology EXP puts on our lap. But stop using it as a crutch and go be human-driven, because that's what sells real estate. That's what puts money in your bank account, because you are literally at that point being of service, right? We're all realtors, salespeople, whatever you want to call yourself. Go be of service, go make connection, and just watch what happens. Whether that's with sponsorship, recruiting, selling, building a team, however you want to take your career on, go be of service and watch what happens. Get authentic. So I love that. It fires me up. I'm so excited. I wish I was going on that trip with you, Brent. And with that being said, we are pretty much out of time. We should be on break right now, but I would love to give everybody else on the stage 30-second final parting words. Whatever is on your heart and on your mind, please give it to us now. And God, it's been so much fun hanging out with you guys, and I can't wait to see where 2021 takes not only us and every person sitting in this audience, but EXP. It's going to be a wild ride. So with that being said, guys on the stage, Cody, Denise, Joe, give us your 30-second parting words.
I just got 2 words. Love is the answer. Take love with you.
I'm going to echo what Glenn Sanford said in the opening. He said, once you've won the game of purpose inside, it doesn't matter what's going on in the world. You'll always have your compass pointed north. So work on your purpose of the game in the inside. And I think that's what Brent was sharing in terms of that freedom date.
Been awesome, Pam. Thanks for hosting us.
My pleasure. My pleasure. It's been great. And so I apologize for those of you who we went a little bit over, 6 minutes over, but I'm so glad to have you guys here. And I hope you found something in this breakout of value for you. And I wish every one of you an incredible end of the year. Go kill it. Fourth quarter. There's so much still to be done between now and the time that calendar flips over. And go make 2021 the best you possibly can. And if anybody ever needs me, I am here in Las Vegas. Don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, panel. You've been incredible. I'm going to give you all a clap.
Great job, Pam.